Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Talk with Anu and I am Anuradha Vasan. Today I am with a very special guest here from the real estate industry. I have Indira from IGI Realty. Thank you so much, Indira, for your time.
Nice to meet you.
So nice to meet you. And I'm here to ask a lot of good information, and Indira is going to share with me a lot of great insights from the real estate world. I'm curious to know about so many good things. So, Indira, tell us all about your journey into real estate and what inspired you to start IGI Realty.
So IGI Realty is more than transactions to me. It's about clients, it's about investors, and I found a gap that there was a gap needed for serving the customers at a different level. And this is why I launched IGI Realty. And with IGI Realty, I'm able to provide excellent service and cover that gap, and also provide first-time home buyers, investors, and with maximum quality of service that they always are looking for.
Wonderful. Indira, let us know about a little bit about your background.
Sure. I started my career in IT, just like everybody else around here. And mostly I was in IT for about 20 some years. And my husband's actually started investing in some properties. And when he started investing, I started playing like a back-end role of like managing those properties and then helping him with investing and maintaining these properties. Mm-hmm. And I started seeing how much I liked this and how much I love to do this type of stuff. And I was constantly talking with like a lot of clients and interacting with them, and saw a need for a level of service that needed to be provided to them. So I said, okay, you know what, I quit my IT career and I came forcefully into real estate and took it on boldly, and here I am. I'm successful, and 8 years later.
Beautiful. Good to know about your background as well.
Thank you.
The name IGI stands for Innovate, Grow, Invest. What does this vision mean to you personally and professionally?
So innovate means we are always innovating and evolving as we change and grow along with the market, along with the conditions, along with our clients. And grow means that I grew as an agent, and I grew as a business entrepreneur, and I expect my clients also to grow along with me. Mm-hmm. And invest would mean that, you know, I would like to invest in my future as well as my clients' future. Build their portfolios and help them make long-term investments and secure their futures.
Beautiful. Very good to know about that, Indira. Thank you for sharing. All right, so we also have another guest here with us, Ishani, Indira's daughter. Thank you, Ishani, for your time. And Ishani is here to answer a couple of questions for us. Thank you.
Of course, thank you.
And tell us something about you.
So I actually have only been doing real estate for the last 3.5, 4 years. I joined because my mom was really into it during COVID, and I had nothing else to do. I was stuck in the house, and I was back at home with my parents, and I was losing my mind, right? So I was like, give me something to do, let me help you. And so I was handling her showings, I was running around with her, and as I started doing it, I was realizing, hey, I actually really enjoy doing this. I enjoy the people that I'm meeting, and I like that I'm not stuck behind a desk 9 to 5 all day. Mm-hmm. And I just truly enjoyed it. I picked it up, and by the time the summer ended, I had my license. And then I just started working with her, and I was like, I can make money from this, so let me just continue to doing that. And I've been growing my business like for the last 4 years. We're starting to do commercial alongside residential, so we're really getting up there.
And just like any other Indian parent, I always wanted her to be engineer, doctor, lawyer, you know. But hey, it is what it is, and she loves what she does, and that makes me happy.
And what a cute co-worker that you have along with you. It's your own daughter, and it's so easy.
Yes. Sometimes it's quite stressful.
Sometimes it's stressful. Yes.
We get that.
Yes. She won't stop talking. That's why.
We need one person like that in the team. You know, one is quiet, the other person.
Keep each other busy. So
that's wonderful. Good to know about you, Ishani. Atlanta's real estate market has changed significantly. How would you describe the current opportunities and challenges for buyers and sellers?
So the Atlanta real estate market is ever evolving, right? You're going to look at the market and it's going to be different versus 5 years ago versus right now. It changes almost on a monthly basis. And it depends really on the interest rates, how many buyers are in the market, how many sellers, what everyone's looking for. Right. So for example, during COVID, we were seeing it was a strong seller's market where homes were going over asking. They were going 10, 20, even 50K over asking. Versus right now, if you try to get anything over asking for your home, it's just not going to happen. The market is not there.
Beautiful. Thank you, Ishani, for sharing us that information. What makes Metro Atlanta such an attractive place for families, professions, and investors?
Atlanta is a hot market. Atlanta is a beautiful place to live, and there is so much diversity, top-rated schools, and the cost of living is quite moderate. One of the main things that I like to point out is whatever the type of buyer or seller you are a great fit into this market, because you can go live in a condo downtown, or you could go and live in a farmhouse in the northern Georgia mountains. Right. So there is a vast, widespread type of homes and things available here for you to settle down and have multi-generational living.
Beautiful. For someone moving to Atlanta, the newcomer, how do you help them decide which community is the right fit for their families?
First of all, we start by listening to them. We sit down with them and we listen to what exactly are their priorities, what are their requirements, what is their criteria, and then we narrow down the schools and the location and everything based on that. Of course, we advise them to go get a pre-approval first, talk to a lender, figure out all your financial situation, and then once they're through with that, then we sit down with them and narrow down location, price, and area, and find the house that best fits their budget.
Okay. Good to know that.
Yeah.
Areas like Alpharetta and Cumming and other suburbs continue to grow. We see that every day. What trends are you seeing in these markets, especially?
So we're seeing a lot of trends in these markets. It's, again, like I said, Atlanta is an ever-evolving market. It's always up and down, but we're always seeing future growth. It's always growing. Alpharetta, what it is right now, is nowhere close to what it was 20 years ago. It has grown and expanded so much, and even Cumming, Johns Creek, Swanee, those areas have all expanded like crazy, and home prices are only rising.
Yes, absolutely. We see that information every day, I think.
Exactly.
Right?
And she literally grew up in Alpharetta. She went to all the Alpharetta schools.
Wow.
So she has the best insight of Alpharetta to provide.
Of course. What advice would you give for the first-time home buyer who feels overwhelmed by the buying process? As a newcomer, I think it's a lot of information. You don't know which one to focus on. What do you think about that?
Yes. So first of all, we sit down and listen to them, and just like I mentioned before, and then we also try to educate the buyer about the process. So we bring them into our office and we sit down with them and we have a full-blown consultation about how the home buying process works. That puts them at ease, and then they feel comfortable and confident, and then we move forward with the next steps for the process.
Beautiful. So, Indira, tell us, many people are waiting for the perfect time to buy a home. What factors should they really consider?
First of all, I would say for a client, when they come to me, I say they are ready to buy a house when they are willing, able, and ready to buy a house. It doesn't matter what the market is. It doesn't matter what the current conditions are. If your life is ready and you are ready to buy a house, you move forward and you buy the house.
Beautiful.
Yes.
What is the biggest mistake buyers make when searching for their dream home?
So there's actually two mistakes that buyers tend to make. One is they don't look at the financial aspect before they start looking at the homes. So right now, in this day and age, right, you have the internet. People just get on Zillow and they start liking homes and they start looking for what is their dream home in their mind before they even go to a lender, before they even get a pre-approval. So we always recommend, before you even start looking at homes, you should always get a pre-approval from a lender and know where you stand financially and what you can afford.
Beautiful.
So the other mistake that we have is a lot of buyers will look at a home, and if it doesn't meet every single one of their criteria, they'll turn it away.
Okay.
But what really matters is the cosmetic aspect, right? Paint, cabinets, flooring, you can change all of that. What you can't change are the bones of the home and the structure. So if the structure works for you, we always tell our buyers to move on it.
Okay. Interesting to know all these. I think not many of us know these information, so it's good to always talk to experts like you and get to know about
Yeah.
the real estate market. Thank you for sharing that. Share with me some
Yeah.
kind of fun or unique experience that you had during the real estate
Rochelle's
process.
house, I think you can tell. You had that story, right? For Rochelle's house.
Well, I was just saying,
Yeah.
they were amazing clients. Sometimes you work with people, especially for first-time home buyers. This is their first big home. This is a huge life decision for them.
Right.
And they need, and it takes a lot of personal experience with them, right? It's a very personal connection that you have with them.
Right.
So it almost feels like you've become part of their family for the 2 months that you're looking for the home with them.
Yeah.
And it's just so nice watching people. Like, we had a client that bought a home in Roswell. Her and her husband, she was pregnant at the time. We're still friends, we still keep up with them, and she's currently just had her second child.
Yeah.
So they've truly made that house into a home, and it's just so beautiful to see things like that.
What a lovely story. I
Yeah.
think these are personal connections you
Yes,
make with your
yes.
clients, right?
Yeah.
Good to know about that. Tell me, for homeowners thinking about selling,
Yeah.
what steps can help them get the best value for their property?
So I would like to break that question into a couple of parts here. So first of all, we tell them, we walk into their home and we do an assessment. And when we do the assessment, we tell them that, hey, we look around the house and we give them tips on how to declutter, so make small fixes, repairs, issues, anything, address them up front. And make your house, think of it like these buyers are coming into your home that you've lived in for so long, and so present them with a good home, and give a nice package to the buyers, right? So that's something we tell them. The second thing is we want to provide curb appeal. So clean up your lawn, make your windows shine a little bit, paint a little bit on the outside, make it fun for the buyer to drive up and go, wow, this is a nice house.
Beautiful.
To a buyer, the first impression is always the best impression.
Yeah, there you go. That's exactly right. And then we also tell them we recommend staging, because staging is also a good impression for the buyer. So just don't show an empty house. Throw in some flowers, some towels here,
Wow.
and make it look like cozy and warm and inviting for them to come in and make that first offer on your house.
You want to imagine it as their home. Like,
Yes.
that's what they want to see when they walk through the door.
That's the personal connection, and
Exactly.
first impression is the best impression. That's beautiful.
Exactly.
New construction is right now very popular in Atlanta.
Yes.
What should buyers know before choosing a?
So first of all, what we recommend for new construction homes is just don't walk into a site without a buyer agent, because it's important. The builder agent that's sitting at that site is not representing you legally or any other way. They represent the builder. So first of all, walk in with a buyer agent who can speak for you, negotiate for you, and explain everything about that new construction home. The second assumption that people have about new construction homes is it comes without any problems. That is not true. It does have its own set of issues, and you need a full-blown inspection and everything done on a new construction home in order for you to enjoy that home in the future without any issues, right? So recommendations like these are what will come from the buyer's agent, and we recommend that whenever you go in with one of us, and then you will be represented, and you will also get all the additional details to save you thousands of dollars maybe in the long run.
Yes, for example, I just had a client who bought a new construction home. They were building their home from scratch. They had done their first visit without an agent, just to see the lots and figure out what house they wanted, and they got the full breakdown. And I was able to go in there, talk to the agent, and get their sunroom in completely for free. They got a loft added for free, and they took about $20K off of the lot premium. So those are all things that only a real estate agent can do, that they're not going to give just for anyone walking in.
Yes. Good to know about that. Real estate can also be an investment strategy.
Yes.
Right? What should investors look when evaluating a property?
So investors have to look at a lot of things. You have to look at whether you're in the city or the suburb. You're going to have to take in location. You're going to have to take in what is the median renter, how much are they making, what are you looking at, and this is only for residential investment. So we're able to provide comps, provide reports, pull up who is all renting in this area, and will this property make a profit? That is the main thing. And what a lot of people don't realize is it's not just as easy as buying a home and renting it. You are also acting as a landlord, which is something we also help with. We help with the lease, and we help tell people how to be a first-time landlord. It's very different than owning a property yourself.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And we also do commercial investments.
Yes.
So we have a lot of ground leases, office condos, and retail spaces and all that
We
as
also
well.
do like industrial warehouse.
Yes.
We do a lot of triple net leases. Those are all kind of commercial aspects, but the commercial game is incredibly different than the residential.
Yes.
Wow. A lot of information here, right? I
Yes.
think talking to an expert, we get to know answers for these questions.
Yes.
Some of us are clueless
Yeah.
on this. Indra, tell us, how do you help clients balance emotions and financial decisions when buying or selling a home?
So first of all, the financial part of it is for me to educate them, to keep them within the financial limits of what they can buy. Just looking at a dream home, you walk in and you see this model home, fantastic model home, and you fall for it, but not knowing that what you are going to get is going to be significantly different is a different game, right? So we explain all that to our clients, and we tell them that, hey, don't just fall for the dream home. Make sure that you are able to afford what is in that dream home, and setting that expectation, be real about it. And don't get too emotionally involved upfront, even before closing. So we kind of prepare them. This house may not even close. You may not close on this house. So just be aware that at any time, if you need to quit, you're able to quit.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So these days, it's social media.
Yes.
Social media and online presence have become powerful tools for realtors, especially. How important is storytelling and digital branding in real estate industry?
It is super important. I think it's what's running. It's like a lifeline right now. We need to be on social media, and we need to be. But what we are doing with our social media presence is we are trying to educate our buyers and sellers and investors a lot more through this process. So we make videos of tips and tricks, and we walk them through the process. We sometimes show them even real life situations of what we're doing with a closing, or how a buyer is negotiating something, or showing parts of the house that you wouldn't even have thought about, or things in taxes and financial aspects. So we constantly educate our audience and keep them engaged, hopefully. And that's how we are building our social media presence.
Beautiful. That reminds me to let you know that IGI Realty has a Instagram page.
Yes,
We have Instagram,
Please go
YouTube,
ahead.
Facebook.
yes, we have everything.
Mention the handles,
It's just it's at IGI Realty for all of them.
all of them.
IGI.realty. Yeah.
Excellent. Can you share a memorable client experience that represents why you love this profession?
I have so many. I'd love to say all the stories, but some of them get me to the bottom of my heart. So I had this one older person that I was working with, who was alone, and she had single-handedly raised a bunch of kids, and she was looking to downsize into a ranch house. And in order to do that, she had to sell her existing house, and she wasn't sure of any of this in the beginning. So we sat down with her, and we made her confident that she can go through the process first, and then put her house up for sale, and then purchased a new house for her. And we had to match up the timeline in a way that she had to pull the money out of one of it to provide for the other. So, but luckily, because we were so on top of it, and aggressively looking for a buyer to sell her house, everything happened like it's like good karma or something. It just all fell in place, and we literally had closing, like her existing house sold on like a Tuesday, and we closed on her new house on a Wednesday.
Wow, beautiful.
Yeah, I still get like heebie-jeebies when I think about it, because it was cutting it so close. We were all like hanging off a cliff, but it happened.
What a great moment it would have been
Yeah.
for both of you, right?
Yes,
The
yes,
client and
yeah.
Yeah, she was the sweetest lady.
Yeah, she was the sweetest client we had.
I think to know more about your client stories, visiting your profile would be a great option.
Yes.
A lot
We
of
have a lot of testimonials and lot of stories and pictures out there. Go check it out. Yeah.
But I think you become a family friend to them
Yes.
during the process. of
Yes,
this.
yes.
Especially for first-time home
Yeah.
buyers.
Yeah, there's a lady, she sends us pickles bottles
Wow.
all the time, like we get one pickle bottle every time from her. She just loves us so much.
Good to know, good to know.
Yeah.
Because this is something close to their heart, right?
Yeah.
Whether if it's a first-time buyer
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
a second home
Yes.
owner,
Yeah.
it's going to be a close connection.
Yeah.
Yeah, even if it's a second homeowner, that's honestly sometimes it's even more because you're getting them into their dream home.
Yeah.
and that's what they're so thankful to you for that.
And this helps us build our business too, because word of mouth is everything for us. And when these clients go and talk to other people and say how good we are, and that's a
Word
for us a star on the
At the end of the day, all we want is
Yeah.
to have our clients satisfied
Yeah.
with what we've provided.
yeah.
That's a good point here.
Yeah.
Having clients satisfied at the end of the
Yes,
day.
yes.
Beautiful. Building a business requires leadership
Yes.
and resilience.
Yes.
What challenges have you faced as an entrepreneur, and how did you overcome?
So the ever evolving market, it can be a little challenging, because real estate is not like every day. It's not like a 9 to 5 job where you go in and you're assured a paycheck at the end of the month, right? It's not like that. It can be up and down, and presenting to the audience, educating your buyers and sellers, keeping them informed of everything is a constant process. And we try to do that constant process with our clients, even when we are in a low market or whether we are in an up market.
Right.
It doesn't matter to us. Our one-on-one attention to our clients is always there.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
As a woman entrepreneur in real estate, what advice would you give a woman who wants to build their own business?
I think everybody should do it. That's my thing. If I can do it, anybody can do it. And it takes a lot. It takes a lot. Sometimes it might feel like real estate might feel like a man-dominated world a little bit, but
Especially the commercial aspect.
especially in the commercial side of it. But you need to go in there with confidence. You need to go in there with like, I can do this. I can every day. You tell yourself that, and you can definitely break barriers, and you can reach. There is no ceiling. There is.
If
no
you
ceiling
carry
to
yourself
this.
with confidence and you know what you're talking about when you're talking to other agents,
Yeah.
that's at the end of the day, that's all that matters. If you're well educated in the field, that's really all you need
Yes.
to be successful.
Yes, and I have several people who come, several women who watch me on my social media, and then they call me and they ask me for advice, and they want to join my team and things like that. So that itself tells me that I'm providing some sort of moral support to women who are out there, who want to do things and who want to change their lives.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it's one person encouraging the other person.
Yes,
It's the
yes,
same way
yes.
a woman encouraging another entrepreneur
Yes.
who's budding or wants, has a
Exactly.
passion in this industry.
Yes, yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Looking ahead, what do you think the future of Atlanta real estate will look like in the next 5 years?
I think Atlanta's real estate is going to keep going forward. There is no going back anymore. The price, and I also will say this, that prices are going to be going up, unfortunately. But the interest rates can go up and down. But the suburbs are developing a lot, and everything around Atlanta is expanding and growing. So there is absolutely no reason to fear anything by buying or investing real estate in Atlanta. It's
Atlanta
constant.
is growing like crazy, right?
Yeah.
Whether you're looking in the suburbs out Lawrenceville or towards Kennesaw on the west side, right? It's just expanding.
Yes.
And there are so many jobs coming in too in the tech field. There are so many people moving to Atlanta, and that's just going to keep the market going. These people will currently rent. Once people settle down, they lean towards buying, and that just keeps expanding the market.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, good to know.
We've seen in Alpharetta houses going from 200K to $1 million now.
Yeah.
So that is growth.
Yeah.
That is.
Yeah.
So my mom bought a home in 97
Yeah.
in Alpharetta. They bought a new construction home, low 200s.
Mhm.
The same home right now is valued at like 800-900,
Wow, what a huge growth, right?
and that's like what
That is growth right there. And it's not just Alpharetta, it is exploding in the suburbs. And it's going to continuously keep growing. That's
And a lot of opportunities there behind that.
Yes.
A lot of places become even more popular. Now even the north of coming beyond
It's
that.
ever expanding, like where we are right now in Alpharetta, like the gathering that's being built, that's going to be a huge thing that's coming.
yeah.
They're building out, if you've seen on 400, going all the way past like Brownsbridge Road, going up to Dawsonville even, all those areas are getting developed out like crazy.
Yes, 400 that we all know so popular. It's going to expand a lot in the next 5 years.
Lovely. So, what is your biggest piece of advice for anyone dreaming to own a home or creating wealth through real estate?
Don't wait. Don't wait.
All you have to do is get started.
Yes, get started.
You just have to take the first step. A lot of people are scared, especially the younger generation, but all you have to do is get started. They think, I'm never going to be able to afford a home. Interest rates are too high, homes are too expensive.
Yeah.
But that's not necessarily the case. Like, I bought my home last year, 2 years ago now.
She's 26 and she already owns a home.
Yes.
Wow.
And I wasn't looking for a great, like, the home was $390. So I'm not looking for my dream home right off the bat. I'm looking for something affordable. And a lot of people, when they think home, they're thinking a single family house with a 5-bedroom, 4-bath. You don't need that. When you're just starting out, to get yourself into a home, you can get a smaller home.
Right.
At least you're not paying your mortgage to your landlord.
Right. At least you're not wasting away money in rent.
Yes.
We always say that.
You know.
You're rent versus mortgage, right? With a mortgage, you're paying off the bank and you're going to own the property. With rent, you're never going to own anything.
Yeah. So take that first step. It doesn't have to be 100%. It can be 60, 70. But as long as you've taken that step, that's the first step, and don't wait on buying that.
And you only need minimum nowadays. A lot of our buyers only come with about 5% down. So 5% of the home price, you're looking at a $300K house, right? That's only $15,000 in your savings. That's really all you need. It's a lot easier to buy a home than a lot of people think.
Beautiful. So take that first step. So
Yes,
that's the
take
thing.
that first step and don't wait. Yeah.
Awesome. So tell us about any experience that you've had, doesn't deal with the clients.
Just in the real estate world.
Yeah, so one of the things that we did, which was very interesting last year, was we flipped a house. And that, because of HGTV, it kind of got us, and we said, okay, we got to flip a house. So this was another client that was buying and moving out of a house, and so we bought that house and we took that on as a challenge. And we flipped the house. We painted it. We did the roof. We redid the sunroom. We did everything using our own contractors, our own knowledge, internal networks, and we got it done like in what was it, 2 months?
2 months.
Yeah,
but I will
it was
say
2 months.
we will never do that again. That was incredibly painful. She's saying that because she would normally send us, because my mom would recruited our whole family to kind of help do that.
Our whole
Right,
family.
you get my sisters doing it, it's cheaper than get college.
Yeah, everybody was on the floor cleaning the floors and dusting,
We had to
mopping,
rip up the
everything.
carpet.
How
And
fun this is,
Yes, it was so much fun. But again, we had to, we made a lot of videos in it and shared it to social media, and it became quite a thing that people started watching us and asking us, where is day 10? You haven't posted day 10 yet.
It was incredibly stressful.
Yeah.
It's kind of, you don't really know how bad it is until you go in and do it yourself.
Yeah.
How many things can be wrong with the house?
Yeah.
That house had so many issues, right?
Yeah.
They had been using like the sunroom, they had chickens in there, so there was like, you had to clean that up. You had to basically rip the floors out, and then we think, okay, everything's fine down here. We have to go get it to the attic, and then we open up the attic, and there's snakes in the attic.
There were snakes in the attic.
That house was almost like just one problem after another.
Yeah.
But we all put our heads together, and we were able to turn it around and flip it into a really good
Now
home.
we have a renter there, and we're renting that house. So all good now. But I would like to say that HGTV, all that glitters is
We've been watching this only on TV. This is the first time I'm listening to a real world experience.
The money stacks up quite fast, right?
Yes.
Within 5 minutes, you already have to put $100K into the home just to make it livable.
What a great experience. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
You're amazing.
No, you were amazing. She's amazing.
She's the best person that's interviewed. We were so nervous beforehand, and she calmed us down.
Thank you so much. Makes my day.
Her voice itself is like calming me down. I swear.
Really makes my day. Thank you. Excellent. Thank you so much, both of you, Indira and Ishani, for your time and giving us all these valuable insights. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you.